you're fired. 2 words. Cold, sharp, and dripping with arrogance. My boss leaned back in his leather chair with a smug grin, like he had just crushed a bug under his shoe. My stomach dropped, my hands clenched into fists under the desk. But instead of breaking me, those 2 words lit a fire inside me. And that fire, it burned down everything he thought he controlled. Asterisk, asterisk. If you've ever been disrespected, underestimated, or treated like you're nothing by someone in power, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Asterisk, I had been working at this company for nearly 5 years. I wasn't as good at my job. I was the guy who fixed problems others couldn't. Deadlines? I met them. Clients about to walk? I kept them. Systems failing? I found solutions. My co-workers relied on me, and deep down, even my boss knew it. But here's the thing. My boss, let's call him Mr. Carter, wasn't the kind of man who liked competence. He thrived on control, and anyone who made him look less important was a threat. At first, I brushed it off. The snide comments, the subtle digs, the way he'd take credit for my ideas in meetings and pretend I was just support staff. But slowly it built, like water filling a glass, until one day it would overflow. Mr. Carter's tactics grew nastier. He'd call me into his office just to belittle me in front of others. Asterisk, that's the best you can do? Asterisk, maybe you're just not leadership material. And then the ultimate insult. He started overloading me with extra work, the kind of work designed to make me fail. I was exhausted. My eyes burned from late nights. My chest tightened with stress. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. thinking about unfinished projects. But I held on because I believed in the company and because I knew I was worth more than how he treated me. Then came the breaking point. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I'll never forget the smug look on his face as he told me, Asterisk, you're fired. You've been underperforming. Underperforming. The man actually used that word. My projects had brought in $500,000 in revenue that quarter, and he called it underperforming. I sat there, stunned, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. But instead of begging or arguing, I stood up, nodded slowly, and said, Asterisk, you'll regret this. He laughed. He actually laughed in my face. Walking out of that office, anger twisted into something sharper. Resolve. See, Mr. Carter made one massive mistake. He fired me while I had copies of crucial files and client contact lists that I had built relationships with. And those clients? They didn't care about the company name. They cared about me. I took a week off, slept, cleared my head. Then I started making calls. Quietly, carefully. One by one, clients told me the same thing. If you start your own firm, we'll follow you. My heart raced. This wasn't just revenge. This was my chance to build something better and take everything he thought he owned. I drained my savings, rented a tiny office, and worked harder than I ever had in my life. My wife believed in me. My friends helped spread the word. Within 3 months, I had a small but solid company running. And guess what? Half of Carter's biggest clients had switched to me. The man was bleeding revenue, and word started spreading fast. His arrogance had cost him everything he'd mocked me for. Meanwhile, I wasn't just surviving. I was thriving. The sweetest moment came at a business expo 6 months later. Carter was there, trying to pitch his failing services to new clients. I walked in with my team, wearing the sharpest suit I owned, confident, smiling. When our eyes met, the color drained from his face. One of his former clients, now mine, shook my hand right in front of him and said loudly, Asterisk, best decision I ever made was leaving Carter's firm and coming to yours. Carter's jaw tightened. His fists clenched, but he couldn't say a word. He had no power left. I didn't need to gloat. His humiliation was loud enough in the silence between us. Asterisk, getting fired felt like the end of my world. But it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. Revenge wasn't just about seeing him lose. It was about proving to myself that I was worth more than his opinion. Sometimes the best payback is not just taking someone down. It's rising so high they can't even reach you anymore. Asterisk, asterisk. If the story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or experienced? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time, stay strong and never let anyone write your word for you.